There's something slightly intimidating about going to a house you've never been to before. But imagine how you'd feel if you found out that that same place had a secret lair hidden away. Well, whether they were discovered by a new owner or have some sort of genuine purpose, the lairs in this video are some of the creepiest around.
Amazing!
Number 10. Singer Castle. Singer Castle in Dark Island is a pretty creepy place as it is. The gothic design of castles really goes a long way to give off the creepy Scooby-Doo-like vibe. However, someone has gone the extra mile by decorating the secret tunnels underneath the castle with creepy decorations. The skeleton and cobwebs might be a novelty, but the eeriness runs deep within this building and has probably gone some way to scaring a few trick-or-treaters senseless. Number 9. YESTER Castle. Like Singer Castle, YESTER Castle shows that the old style of grand designs hasn't really gone through time to give off the same impression it once did. This secret little offshoot, referred to as Goblin Ha, embodies the whole creepy element of old buildings, which is furthered when you combine it with the rumours that the cave was actually built by goblins, although in fairness to the goblins, it looks like they did a good job. Number 8. Salvatore PARRONE'S basement. Lairs are probably most famously associated with fictional supervillains, but in this instance the bin-bag-ridden dump belongs to real-life supervillain Salvatore PARRONE. Most people tend to use their basements as a place to have their kids get out of their way for a bit, but Salvatore used his basement to get away from someone he really didn't want to see, the police. Unfortunately for Salvatore, he was found in the end, but for you, that just means you get to see his messy lair. Number 7. DUNNERDEN. It should be clear by now that if you're not a fan of creepy things, gothic buildings are to be avoided, but this is an example of the reverse. DUNNERDEN is a pretty normal looking house on the surface, but underneath it becomes something else. With a whopping 1,000 square feet of secret catacombs, the house isn't one for the faint-hearted, at least not the cleverly named Room of Doom. Fortunately, the inhabitant, Doug Carlston, is a puzzle game developer, and you can only imagine he thrives off living in such a house. Number 6. NUKESTORM'S abandoned attic. Attic rooms aren't exactly the least creepy rooms in the house in the first place, but for Reddit user NUKESTORM, his new house had an attic room that took it that little bit creepier. Behind what can only be described as a door best left shut is this dim crack den that looks like it would only be suitable for a nuclear fallout, which is pretty apt for someone with a name like NUKESTORM. Number 5. Wolf's Lair. Secret bunkers have been used for a variety of things, but few are as despicable as this. This dingy cave was once home to Adolf Hitler, who died here during World War II. The room itself gives off a pretty creepy vibe, which is only worsened when you realise one of the worst people to ever be born resided in here. As you can see though, I can't imagine the man was overly comfortable calling this place home. Number 4. Norwegian attic. When you think of Scandinavia and home furnishings, the bright and beautiful world of Swedish flat-pack furniture probably comes to mind. On the other end of the spectrum is this attic in Norway, which a homeowner discovered. The sign at the back reads, "If you have a bad stomach, you do not have access," and there was even a light alarm in here. A cramped and dusty space, this attic looks like it isn't suitable for living, but unfortunately it seems that is the case, with rumour being that it was a space used to hide from Nazis in World War II. Number 3. Ancient Chapel. When people move into a new house, it's only right to have a proper look around and see what you can find. Unfortunately for the Fowler family from Telford, they didn't quite manage to find everything. After a few drinks, the family decided to check out what was hiding underneath the metal grid in their hallway, only to find out that their house had been built above an abandoned chapel. Something that anyone who has ever watched a horror film can tell you is never going to be a good thing. Number 2. Dempsey 7's Secret Dungeon. When you buy or rent an apartment, you'd think you'd be lucky to find that you had another room that you never knew about. That wasn't the case for Redditor Dempsey7, who discovered this creepy looking brick dungeon, complete with what looks like it may have been used to sacrifice people. As dingy as it is, I'm sure that if it was in London, a landlord could fetch a hefty rent from an extra tenant living in there. Number 1. Parents' secret room. If you walked into your parents' room and ended up discovering a secret passageway in their bookshelf, you might be worried about what you'd find in there. This was the case for Imager user 2-Bit Brownie and his brother. Fortunately, the secret room wasn't an opening into their parents' weird sex life, but instead was home to another human being that the pair claimed to have been heard rustling around and fleeing as they entered. On a positive note, the boys probably now know where their parents hide their Christmas presents every year. Got your own experiences with a creepy hidden room, or think you like the look of anything that made its way into this video? Let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching, and subscribe to be amazed.